Yo, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to another video. This video is for my advanced people. It's basically what I like to call a top-down analysis into the zone-to-zone strategy, right? So this video is going to be filled with a ton of free gems, right? So make sure you guys are taking notes and implement them into your own charts, right? So you guys can also see how I'm making these moves, right? So this is gold on the daily time frame. I always like to start on my higher time frames. Obviously, because it's top-down analysis, you always want to see the bigger picture, right? So what I like to tell people is, when in doubt, zoom out, right? So it's a lot easier to start out. So like, just let's just say we're on the 1 hour. Look, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of just looking at this picture right here. You don't really get to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like I said, the bigger picture. So back on the daily. So as you can see here, we have a trend. We have an uptrend, right? We have an uptrend, and if you saw my zone to zone strategy, you'll understand that why I have these zones set up, right? So obviously you see price fluctuating around this zone for uh, a while now, a couple days, weeks. Um, and I actually could move this zone down a little bit. Right, so that looks a lot better. All right, so you could actually have caught a buy here to this zone because this is your previous resistance zone, right? But obviously here you see a bullish engulfing candle push through. Price consolidates. You were looking for it to push through, but in this case it pushed back up, right? So this is implementing still buyer's momentum, right? So now you're safe to buy here to this zone, right? So you can see it buys up, hits this zone, fluctuates, consolidation. You're looking for a rejection off this zone to the previous this zone. Obviously, you didn't get it. Buyers are still intact. You have another bullish engulfing candle, push through, right? Comes down, rejects off this zone. That is now your support. It was your resistance right here. Now it's your support right here, right? So now you're looking for buys, right? Boom, more bullish engulfing candles. It actually, this candle pushes all the way through up to this zone. And then you see a rejection off this zone. You come down, right? Resistance pushes through. Now you have support. Kind of consolidates on this support for a while. Pushes back up to this zone. Now you're looking for a push through off this for buys to continue, right? Obviously, in this case, that didn't happen. So what'd you have? A bearish breakout. Strong bearish push, bearish engulfing, pushes through this zone, right? Consolidates, comes back up to retest into this zone, which is your indication for sells, right? Because this was a support. Now it's being used as resistance. Look, retest as your resistance. You can draw a little channel here, right? Because it comes down to this zone, and you see rejection off here, but it's really not strong, right? So you have stronger selling pressure than you do buying pressure, right? So you draw your trend, and you kind of see how it moves up. This is what you call a bearish flag, right? So bearish flags are, this would be your flagpole, and then I'll kind of draw it out. It's pretty much the same thing you see down below, right? You kind of just see price chilling in this channel, and then boom, you see another bearish push, consolidate, now push through this zone, which was your resistance, which turned into your support, is now your resistance again over here, right? So now you're looking to sell to this zone, right? And then you obviously see a nice push off here, and now here's where price is now. So market is not open yet. Market opens in about 4 hours. So we will actually be looking, right, for a rejection off this resistance, or a push through this resistance to now turn this into our support. So now we can buy to the next zone, right? So it's very, very simple if you break it down in these steps. Um, you always want to keep it simple, right? Never make it too complicated, okay? So in this instance, you on the daily, you can drop down to the 4 hour, right? Now you're on the 4 hour. Now you see picture a lot better, right? Here's your consolidation, push through, perfectly rejection off this resistance, come back down, consolidate, middle between the zones, which can go both ways. In this case, uh, you have your exhaustion right here, to where it failed to form a higher high, right? So that it also implements selling pressure, right? So here you see a push, right? Consolidate in my zone, push through, fake out. This is honestly something to do with the banks, right? So the banks were, as you can see, it was pushing up to buy, right? But then the banks pushed it down to fake out buyers here, and then everyone was kind of skeptical on what to do, and then price kind of rejected itself, fixed itself. I'm sorry, and then pushed down for sells, right? And now here we are in this little consolidation. We actually caught this buy here last week. A good play on the 4 hour. Rejection off the support. As you can see, little to no drawdown. Price pushed up, right? And now we're kind of waiting to see what it does, right? Because it kind of already rejected here. So it could form a higher high right up here, or it could do some exhaustion, and then boom, push through for another uh, sell, right? So I want to go to Euro JPY because this was another play that we have caught on last week. I want to say the week before. It was a long play, right? So same thing, keeping it simple, right? You have your rising wedge, and if you don't know how to or find these out, I have them in the premium resources channel. So definitely go and check those out, right? But basically, a rising wedge is a bearish pattern. So obviously, it's chilling in this rising wedge. Um, you know, touching zones, kind of pushing up, and then boom. Here in this zone, you have your bearish breakthrough, right? You have your bearish breakthrough for a push, right? To, let's see. So it actually pushes through this zone right here. Huge selling pressure, which I believe has something to do with the banks. Let me see. Because, yeah, none of this really lines up. So banks kind of push price through. Obviously, price came and corrected itself, consolidated in this wedge right here. This is also a bearish pattern. So this is actually where we caught our entry right here, and we caught this nice move. This was, I forget. This was like, hang on, why is that not? Why is my ruler working? Come on. So here, basically that's I don't know why it's not working. But anyways, it's about 1,000 pips. Oh, here we go. Yeah, give or take 5,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's weird. All right, forget about that. Basically, that's a lot of pips. I don't know why my ruler is acting up, but yeah, came pushed through, rejected off my zone right here, and now it's kind of fluctuating back into this channel, right? So what we're going to be looking for is a nice rejection off of this zone right here for another sell, right? So very simple. You see, I have no indicators up. I have nothing but price action, right? You always want to keep it more simpler, right? Simple, whatever. um, so please, right? You can pause this video if you need to, but please mark up your zones, right? Because I promise you, look, rejection here off support. Over here was resistance. Came through, pushed, right? Rejecting off the new support, right? Very simple. You can catch easy plays like this. Look, you see this rejection right here? You can trade it to here. Just from my zone to zone, right? So don't overcomplicate it when you're just starting out in trading. You always want to keep it as simple as possible because you will catch a lot of money off just keeping it simple like this, right? Um, there was one more I think I wanted to show you guys. Um, it's kind of going. I want to go on Naz, right? She's a beast, but basically, I'm gonna show you guys right how I caught some of these pips over the past couple of weeks. So obviously, you drop your zones on the daily. Don't mind mine being a little overcrowded. This is just how I never take off markups, just so I can see kind of how price was doing, moving in the past, right? So on Nas, you can kind of start at the 4 hour because it shows a little bit of price better, right? So here, right, this is where all these circles is where we caught sells. So I got my zones, I got my zones, I got my zones, and all you need is to catch from zone to zone, right? That's it. You see rejection, catch from zone to zone. You see rejection, catch from zone to zone. Rejection, zone to zone. Now support, correction, now resistance, and you have a bearish flag right here, right? So this is really where we caught a nice sell. Boom, came up. She gave us a gravestone doji, which is very bearish. And then obviously you can see price pushed through to zone to zone. Now rejecting and push up, consolidate, push up, boom. Now we came through the outer zone. Now resistance, support, push through, bearish momentum. This came all the way through, closed above, rejected, but then this one continued the sells, right? Consolidated, boom, zone to zone. Very simple moves. Here again, support, buy up, resistance, bearish breakthrough, sell through it, right? So, and all you need is 100 pips on indices, right? That's all you need. Very simple movements. Um, Obviously, some of these you have to wait a couple of days for. I remember here we still caught the sell, but we caught a buy here, right? So you can kind of catch simple moves in between, but these bigger moves right here with this big channel, you got to wait for it. But patience pays, you know what I'm saying? So patience pays. Boom, you catch it right here. That is 1,000 point move right there. Literally 1,000 point move. That's a lot of money, even on a 0.1. Okay, so implement these into your own charts. so yeah, you guys can see it a lot better, right? And please don't hesitate to ask me questions in the chat. On the bigger picture for NAS, I'll go to the weekly. We're on a downtrend channel, right? So all around, this is a bullish, uh, obviously symbol, right? But in between there, with the market crash and everything, we have been catching uh, the sells, right? So sell here, buy here, right? So now we're honestly looking for buys here to come back up to this area, right? So I will be looking for that um, this week and weeks to come. But with everything going on with politics and all that, we could still be seeing if it all breaks through this, then I'm still completely bearish on everything, right? Or right, we could still see push ups to some zones and then continue to sell, right? So you don't know really. We're in some very crazy times right now, but I promise you guys, we will profit from it. Okay, so just use my strategies, right? Implement them to yourself, and let's win, you guys. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.